Does anybody know what SODA stands for? I don't think so, because in our booth, in our brochure or anything, we don't really talk about what SODA is. So let me explain what SODA is, okay? SODA, the S itself doesn't really stand for anything. The O stands for open, D stands for data, and A stands for autonomy. So it's open data autonomy. S, there were simply too many suggestions. It could be smart, simple, scalable, something. So in the end, we decided it can be anything you want, or it can just be something about open data autonomy. So that's what it is. So the topic that I'm going to cover today is like, how are we going to get onto this path to the data autonomy? This is a common picture that everybody has in their data center or in your workplace. You have your enterprise applications, you have big data, IoT, machine learning, AI kind of applications. And these applications could be running on containers or on some VMs in the cloud or on the edge. And then your data sits on the left-hand side. It can be on your on-premise storage or on cloud storage. So the problem with this is that if you want to start doing something, whether you or somebody has to do this thing, it's called provisioning. Okay, you need to provision the storage. And after this, what you have to do is that your data itself, you need to replicate the data, or you need to protect your data either using snapshot or using some kind of backup software. And then maybe you have to restore. And there's a whole bunch of other things that you need to do with your data. You need to do dedupe, you need to do migration and stuff like that. Okay, so the problem is that you have all these are silos. A lot of the times, company has to, there's a lot of different kind of vendors providing different kind of solutions in this picture. And each company has to spend a lot of time trying to integrate everything together. So the right picture should be something like this. It takes a while, okay. This is what we need. Everything integrated together in a single platform, so that data that needs, whatever that we need to do with data can be, to protect it, to secure it, to replicate it, can be done through a single platform. I spent a lot of time doing this animation, so let me enjoy looking at this thing for a while. So besides this, we need more than that, actually. We need to monitor things, to find out what's happening. And besides that, if something happened, we need to have reports about what happened. And we need to find out why it happened, okay, the analytics part. And also, we're always planning for the future, like what happens next? Okay, we need predictive analytics, we need forecasting, okay, to do planning. So, and ultimately, if something really happens, what do we have, how can we handle the problem or issues? Okay, so we need machine learning, AI kind of stuff, orchestration and automation. So to sum up, these are the 4 key technologies that we need in this single data platform that we are proposing. The first is telemetry. Telemetry is a way of like collecting, telemetry is not easy. There are so many different components in the data center or even in the cloud itself. So we need to have a standardized way to collect all this data so that, to collect all this matrix so that it makes sense. Okay, so that it makes sense, and then the different kind of like monitoring applications, the analytics applications will be able to make use of it. And then the second piece is automation. We need an automation and orchestration kind of framework to automate workflows to make the data center operations more efficient, and also to handle anomalies if they happen, okay? And the third piece that we need is intelligence. After having all this information that we have, the telemetry data, the orchestration and automation that we have, machine learning, we should leverage machine learning and AI to actually learn and then be able to understand the environment, and as it goes through the different phases, it's able to slowly learn and help to optimize and make the data center more efficient. And then ultimately, we need a thing called multi-cloud, because right now, there are so many clouds out there. I mean, each cloud, AWS, Google, Microsoft, and there are a bunch of others like IBM and so on. Everybody is doing cloud, and each cloud actually has a different function. So I mean, like Microsoft itself may be better IoT stuff, and then Google itself may be better machine learning and AI. So a lot of the time, data needs to move across clouds. So we need a piece that, this multi-cloud piece also. So if you put all the things together, this is what we should be getting. A single autonomous data platform that allows you to store, run, and manage any kind of data anywhere. So this is what we are trying to achieve on this path to data autonomy. This is another picture. I mean, if you put it in a high-level kind of architecture diagram, this is how it looks like. So like what Arvind introduced earlier, this project, we have been developing it, and it's kind of like we have a basic kind of framework that looks like this already. So on the northbound side, we got the plugins to all the popular kind of compute platforms like Kubernetes, OpenStack, and VMware kind of stuff. And then in the middle, the 4 key technologies in there, and the core doing the scheduling and stuff like that. And then on the southbound side, the storage dock that allows you to connect to different kinds of storage. And besides that, there's a piece that we're going to be doing on these, what we call the SODA edge, to allow data mobility between the edge and the data center and the edge to the cloud. And also, there's what we call SODA Flick thing that you can actually run in the cloud to manage the data that runs there, so that you can actually have consistent kind of data management, whether it's on cloud, I mean on-premise or in the cloud. Okay. So besides the data platform itself, there are data operations that you need to do. Okay, the data management stuff, such as how you, data protection, how do you do data migration and stuff like that. Data governance, how do you control access to the data, how do you secure the data and stuff like that. And also data integration. Data integration is more for like big data kind of applications, how you do ETL, how you do ELT, how you do data transformation, okay? And then the data analytics, I mean, which everybody should know about. So there are some use cases that I want to show you guys over here. So OpenSDS, when we created the project, we talked to a lot of companies and directly to understand their needs and so on. So when we developed OpenSDS, a lot of the features and the roadmap itself is actually designed for end users. And so I'm going to present some of the use cases that we have over here. It's not in production yet, but this is something that they need and we are developing for them. So like in the case of Yahoo Japan, they need something that they call storage consolidation. So they have like 52 clusters of OpenStack running, which means that they have 52 kind of silos over there. And then right now, they are transforming a lot of stuff, I mean, running a lot of new applications on Kubernetes. So they're starting to have like Kubernetes kind of silos over there also. So what they're asking OpenSDS to do is actually to have it through SODA or OpenSDS itself, a single platform to manage all the kind of different storage, and so that data can flow between the different kind of clusters. And also, it's easier for them to do resource management. On the multi-cloud side, this is NTT Communications in Japan also. So what they need is right now they develop some kind of data protection software, take snapshots from the storage and then back up to the cloud. And the first cloud that they use is AWS, their partner. Okay. But subsequently, they started partnering with Microsoft and Google and some of the local Japanese cloud companies. So what happens is that they have to develop a similar set of stuff for every cloud. Okay, so what they're hoping for OpenSDS to do is actually to take over whatever that they're doing, so that they don't need to, each new partner that comes in, they have to develop something for the new partner again. In the case of this KPN is actually the Netherlands telecom. They rely on orchestration very heavily. And they have an orchestration, a proprietary kind of orchestration software that they're hoping, to leverage SODA OpenSDS to take over. And the reason being that they're expecting that the vendor to actually end of life for that software product. And then I think this is probably the most interesting use case for SODA, whereby this is actually an IoT use case. Toyota, the car company, the cars that they have a lot of sensor data that they actually, what they do is that the data goes to the edge, and at the edge they do kind of like big data, kind of a high performance kind of edge computing. And then the data sits over there for like maybe a week or so, and after that they move the data to the data center. And the data center, they go through this phase called data lifecycle, whereby they have primary storage. They need the data there for like 6 months or so to do more big data analytics. And after 6 months, they move it to secondary storage. And over there, the reason they put it in secondary storage is because they have a lot of data to store. And they put it there for like 2 years so that they can do things like trending, machine learning, and stuff like that, and pick the data from the secondary storage. And ultimately, they need to archive the data to archive storage either on-premise or to the cloud. And the reason why they need this is because they need to store they expect the life cycle of a car to be 15 years or more. So they need to store all the data for the entire life cycle of the car. In case something happens to the car, they can retrieve it and then find out what happens. So that's why they need a lot of petabytes of storage for this autonomous vehicle. So this is what we are doing. Okay, so data life, there's nothing out there that no single vendor kind of solution that allows them to do this. So they're hoping for collaborating with OpenSDS to do this thing here. So again, the project that supporting about doing this development is actually OpenSDS, and these are the companies that are behind OpenSDS. And OpenSDS is right now going through a transformation to SODA, okay? And the reason why we are transforming it to SODA is because SDS is, when we started the project, it's all about the controlling the software-defined kind of storage, but the scope of the work that we are doing is actually beyond that, and that's why we are undergoing this change right now. And we expect to officially launch SODA in 2020, early 2020, okay? And SODA will be about open collaboration for data management and storage for data autonomy. And again, SODA Foundation will be under Linux Foundation. It's just like OpenSDS, it's a project under Linux Foundation. So the mission of SODA, the reason why I picked this picture, it's very nice looking, okay? That's the first reason. But the second reason is because I think the mission of SODA is as hard as scaling this mountain, okay? To scale a mountain, you cannot do it alone. You need a team of people. You need a team to do it, okay? So that's what SODA is about. The mission is actually to get everybody together to actually complete this mission, or at least try to do this mission. Okay, so first thing we need to do is to actually foster an ecosystem of software for data management and storage. The second thing is that to offer a neutral platform for cross-projects collaboration. Because right now there are a lot of open source projects. Besides all the proprietary kind of solutions, there's so many kind of data management, data storage projects, and whatnot. But all of them don't work together. Like the most popular SAF, I've been approached by so many end users saying like, can you make SAF like replicate, to other kind of storage systems and so on? So this is what the cross-project collaboration is about. And also OpenEBS from Maya data. Okay, so that's what we need to do. And ultimately, our goal is actually to build end-to-end solutions for our end users. Okay, so that's a mission. The goals for the foundation itself, just like any kind of open source project, we want to make sure that it's open in terms of, the source code itself, the APIs. Also, if we create any kind of standards, it should be kind of an open standard. And this is supposed to be a community kind of a project. We don't want it to be dominated by one company or a small group of companies. This is a multi-company kind of a project, vendor neutral. The second thing that we do, like what I was introducing at the beginning, we want it to be real. Everything that we develop is a feature that's, every feature that we develop is actually a request from some end user, okay? And so that we can actually build real world kind of use cases. And then the third goal that we have is to what we call ready, to make it ready for any kind of SODA kind of software, SODA kind of hardware, SODA kind of cloud service. You can just put them together and they'll just work. You don't have to do any kind of testing. Okay. So on that, we have something that we call the SODA ready thing that we are planning for. So SODA ready is more like a certification kind of program, whereby we have like conformance to make sure that everything everything that's SODA ready can work together, interoperate. Like in terms of quality, in terms of performance, there's at least it's actually certified. And then we want to build a pool of service providers that will be able to support SODA. Okay, so there's another certification that we want to do. And then also, ultimately, we need a group of administrators and developers to actually develop applications and then run the SODA platform. Okay, so SODA, again, we are not a project that's running by itself. We are working together with like CNCF, we are working with like SNIA and so on. So, and then Storage Performance Council is actually another organization that's actually focused on performance for storage. So SNIA, we are actually are working very closely with them, and we'll have an announcement at the end of this year to talk about our collaboration with them. Okay. The governance. So this is to show you that what are the companies that are involved in this the building up this SODA or platform. So you can see like we have two committees actually, the TSC Technical Steering Committee and the End User Advisory Committee. And the Technical Steering Committee comprises many of our vendors, people that are actually build solutions and stuff like that. And the end user is basically companies or representatives that actually use SODA and provide us with the feedback on like their use cases, their requirements and stuff like that. Okay, so this is how we have been running OpenSDS. But for SODA itself, it's going to be a bit different because OpenSDS was more or less like a single project. In SODA itself, we're changing it to be like, it's going to be like a foundation hosting multiple kind of projects. So under the technical steering committee, there's going to be an advisory board on top that takes care of business. And then the technical steering committee is actually the key committee that will take care of the different projects. So there are different projects, besides what you see in the diagram that I showed you guys earlier. The other projects like Intel is proposing like NVMe over Fabric kind of project in there. And then there's another company that's talking about like a persistent memory kind of storage kind of thing. And then, of course, there can be other kind of data management, data governance kind of projects. And so under the technical steering committee, there are the projects, and then there's an architecture work group that will actually oversee the architecture across all the projects to make sure that they interoperate together. There will be a quality work group that will take care of like make sure that the software is, the quality is there in terms of like testing and so on. And also define the certification for the SODA ready program. And then there will be the different special interest groups So the tech-focused ones could be something like focus on like data security or data analytics kind of stuff. And then on the industry side, there are different companies like Toyota is interested in building up a special interest group for automotive kind of applications. And also companies like Vodafone and NTT, they are interested in building a telco kind of special interest group. Okay. And then on the end user committee is still the same thing. I mean, they provide the feedback, the requirements and stuff like that on the use cases. And then we are gonna have an outreach committee, which more or less takes care of the evangelism, the activities and stuff like that. And under that, under these two committees, there's gonna be regional committees. There'll be like North America, Japan, India, China, and stuff like that. So the communities that we have currently built up so far is that we've done a lot of things in Japan. That's where we've gained the most success. I mean, a lot of companies have heard about the project and they started joining us. And of course, it's not only us, I mean, going around to propose or present to people. The different companies, in fact, they've been pulling in their vendors, their partners, and their customers to join the project also. Okay. And then in China, this year itself, we started going into China, actually getting a lot of companies to join. So besides China Unicom is actually the sitting champ for the Chinese community right there. And in China itself, China Railways, I mean, besides Huawei itself, which is big, China Railways is also a very big, I mean, the National Railways organization in China. And then Europe, and then of course we have India. India we just started this year in March. So I'm very glad that we came here and able to get like Wipro to join Maya Data and stuff like that. And of course Click to Talk. Okay. And then North America we have a few vendors joining. So in terms of activities, we do a lot of events around the world, few years, but these events that I'm showing up here are the rest of the events for the rest of this year. So besides this OSI here, the next event that we're going to do is Open Source Summit Lyon, and then we're going to do Kubernetes, KubeCon San Diego, and all the other things. But actually the most important thing, the most important event right now is Open Source Forum Tokyo, because that's where we are going to do a soda formation kind of meeting over there, and then we're going to have a mini summit over there. So if you guys are interested in finding out more about Tokyo, talk to anybody at the booth, and then we'll let you know how to join it. So this was the very first event that we did when we first started OpenSDS, and that was the few people that we have. But at least we got like a few people from like Vodafone, KPN, NTT, and Yahoo Japan representing them and to start the thing. But this year itself, we did four major events around the world, and throughout these 2 years, at least we've grown quite a bit, and we have like started getting like communities everywhere. Okay. So I'd like to invite some of the company representatives supporting SODA itself to come on board. So can I have like Vino, Rupal, B, and then Karen to come up to say a few words. I'll introduce Vino is the chief architect of Wipro and the for software engineering IES.
My name is Vinod. I'm part of Wipro Limited, part of engineering services within Wipro. As I know, Wipro doesn't need an introduction to most of you, but to give a brief, we work in two aspects. Right? One is Wipro is known as a service provider, right? Especially for the infrastructure and application market, and we also do engineering providing, engineering service providing, especially for software or storage server OEM vendors. So that's why what I like when we collaborate with SDS is we can bring in two aspects, like what we see the ask from engineering perspective as well as the user perspective of storage. So that's what, when the SODA Foundation came to us, we thought, okay, that's a great opportunity, because a lot of times what we see our customer ask us is, okay, there are a lot of software-defined storage platforms, but do I have the vendor lock-in if I adopt them? Like, I'm not naming that platforms, but any software-defined storage platform that we give to our customer today, they always ask about the vendor lock-in. And then we have a software-defined infrastructure, COE, which is actually has been struggling for last 4 or 5 years to find out, okay, what is the best solution that we can give to customers which avoids the vendor lock-in. So we found, oh, this is a right best opportunity for us where we can avoid the vendor locking and ensure that we can give this truly open data platform for customers. That's one aspect. Second aspect is multi-cloud, right? I mean, there are a lot of projects that we are doing on cloud where customers need data across multiple clouds. It can be Azure, it can be AWS, or it can be GCP, right? I mean, or IBM. So now the problem is with the increasing data load that is coming to cloud, people want to ensure that this data is available to variety of applications. There are customers who run certain workload, which is a sweet spot for a certain cloud provider, right? I mean, I think Stephen already touched upon that. So now, the one ask from most of these customers is, how do we ensure that common access where you can access the data at any cloud seamlessly, right? And we have been trying to put together some solutions. Now, when we said, okay, that is one of the vision for the SODA Foundation, we thought, okay, wow, that is good. We can leverage that. So those are the two aspects which actually motivated us and then to be joining as part of SODA. And I believe this has to go a long way. And I wish all the success for SODA and for our collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Kiran Mova, the Chief Architect for Maya Data. It's a lot of, I mean, probably OpenEBS is more famous than Maya Data. So
probably just say we are the founders of OpenEBS project, which is now a CNCF sandbox project as well. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Maya Data started 3 years back when we founded the company. We were looking at the technology stack and what are the innovations that were happening. 3 things stood out. One was DevOps, the other one was containers, and then open source itself. So there was a lot of buzz about open source economy. In fact, like if you look at us, we are a open source commercial company, right? We are building software that in open source, but we are actually making money out of it, right? So these 3 things kind of revolutionized the way the technology stacks are built in enterprises. And one of the challenges that we noticed with this movement was the stateless workloads were moving very fast, but stateful workloads still had gravity, right? So we were looking at like what are the pieces that we need to solve to make stateful workloads also move or become more agile. There were a lot of things that we had to do. So that's what gave us the idea of OpenEBS as one of the projects, and then Litmus was the second project. But as we went to the customers, we realized there are so many other things that we have to do to really make stateful workloads agile, right? That's when we started looking at the chapter from OpenSDS, in fact. The roadmap of, or like the features that were planned in the OpenSDS were pretty much the things that all the end users would need. And as startup, we would not have that resources or the time to kind of work on that. So we decided, okay, let's be part of this foundation to kind of collaborate in the open. So already we are seeing a lot of benefits in terms of the projects that we developed. The pieces of it can be already integrated into the SODA Foundation and the OpenSDS. We are also running some prototypes already. So it's been a very good collaboration already. Thanks.
thank you. And next, I'll invite Being Fong. He's the CEO of Huawei India R&D Center in Bangalore.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm from Huawei Technology India Private Limited. Before I came here, I worked in storage for more than 11 years. So I'm very familiar about storage and the data. So I think now everybody understands that every technology is data-centric, right? So data is the future. I think everyone understands this. So, OpenSDS, I think, have been building an ecosystem to address the data management issue. Now I think it is transforming to a bigger foundation. That's our Linux Foundation, SODA Foundation, right? So I believe SODA Foundation can help the consolidation of the similar projects and help the synergy of our partnering organizations like this. Huawei, I think we are very happy. We are a part of the initiative. And I think in the future, working with the other SODA members, I think SODA can build the open source platform and standard faster. Of course, it is very important we need a bigger amount of our users. Then, hence, our industry can accept this. So I hope our SODA Foundation can become stronger, and I also believe together we can make the history. So good luck. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. And then lastly, we have Rupal. She's the business head for Click2Cloud APAC.
Thanks, Stephen. Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone. This is Rupal from Click2Cloud. We are basically a migration technology company. And we joined OpenSDS, I guess, 1.5 years back when the second phase was launched, like Aruba was launched. So the intention behind joining the SODA was we have our own products which supports our telecom industry, most of SoftBank Telecoms and SoftBank Telecom Japan, SoftBank Telecom Indonesia, and other telecom companies. As well, we cater into the government sector. So both these segments, if you know, they are the hub of data. They are just collecting your data for the voice. They are collecting the data for your messages. For the government system, they are collecting the surveillance system images everywhere. So every second, there is a huge amount of data that is going onto the cloud or maybe on premises. The second was for managing, since both the industry segments are very critical, how you're going to manage the security compliances. So we were finding some of the opportunity or some of the option to integrate those pieces into our product. We have our own product, which is multi-cloud management platform, but the data part was completely missing. So we were the part of Linux Foundation and met Stephen during the time and got to know about this community 1.5 years back, and then joined this community. So it's been about 3 releases. We have contributed a lot. And the best part is we pick up that code after contribution to get into the real customer scenarios. So the value add for the OpenSDS is you can easily integrate those APIs maybe for your own proprietary tools, and then give something, whatever the comment, whatever the changes or whatever the requirement that real customer requires, and build it or give it back to the community was the core goal for Click2Cloud, and it is still there. So we have our session today to discuss about how we are integrating and what kind of challenges we faced and how we are solving it, what kind of roadmap that is there. So we are really thankful to OpenSDS for bringing this community into India as well. We hope the one of the mountains should relate with India name as well. Cool. Thank you.